Let's get started on ionic bonding. The assignment, ionic bonding, purpose of this assignment is to teach you how ionic bonds are formed between ions. We're going to do number 2 on this part of the video. So I need for you to grab your magnesium card at your table, put it right in between you and your partner, and you're also going to need an iodine. We're forming the ionic compound between magnesium and iodine. Step 1, determine the number of valence electrons around that you'll need to put around each of your elements. Use your periodic table. Magnesium has 2 valence electrons. Put them right there. Put your pennies directly on top of your card so that when you have to move your card, your pennies will go with it. They'll hang off a little bit, but put them on top, make your life easier. Iodine has 7 valence electrons. This all comes directly off your periodic table. 7 valence electrons. Pause the video at any point that you need to slow things down so you can get things arranged at your table. Don't write anything until I tell you to. All right? You can see right away from your electron dot structure that what's going to happen is magnesium is going to transfer an electron over to iodine, so iodine becomes stable. But you can't leave this lone electron here for magnesium hanging. So the only solution when you're forming a compound between magnesium and iodine is you need another iodine. So grab your other iodine card, put it over on the left, electron dot structure, 7 valence electrons. 7 valence. I might have said 8 valence over here, but you fixed my mistake. There's the transfer of the other electron. See how it works? All electrons are accounted for. All atoms have formed ions that have full outer energy levels. I'm going to put these back so that we can show the actual transfer. So on your paper, at this point, you're going to replicate this, your electron dot structures, where it says transfer of electrons on number 2. I'm going to go ahead and put X's where we're going to transfer those electrons to. So make sure your paper under transfer of electrons looks just like this. Pause the video to give yourself some time to do your electron dot structures. The actual transfer of electrons is shown with arrows. So I want you to draw arrows going from the electron that's going to get transferred to the spot that's going to take the electron. So on your paper, you're going to have arrows going from an electron to the spot where the electron is transferred to. So the arrowhead should be pointing to an X on your paper, everywhere in transfer of electron. I don't want any wayward arrows going nowhere. They need to go from an electron to an X. This is exactly what your paper should look like for transfer of electrons between magnesium and iodine on number 2. Pause the video if you need some time. The next spot on your paper is ion formation. So under ion formation, you don't need to do electron dot structures a second time under ion formation. So I'm going to take those electrons off the board. I'm going to erase what I've got here because you won't have that under ion formation. I'm going to scooch these a little closer together. So think about the ion that magnesium formed when it lost 2 electrons. Lost 2 electrons forms a 2+. Put your ion charge as the superscript. Iodine, each iodine gained 1 electron, meaning that they will now have a -1 charge, superscript minus. This goes in your ion formation box. Pause the video to make sure you get that taken care of now. The final box is the chemical formula box. I'm just going to get these off here to show you how I want you to do the chemical formula box. Dropping everything all over the place. Okay, so now when you're doing the chemical formula box, think about those cards as atoms. So each atom, or each card is an atom. How many magnesium atoms do you need for magnesium iodide? You have one card sitting at your table, right? So here's magnesium, and we don't need to put a 1 as a subscript, it's understood. How many iodine atoms do you need for magnesium iodide? How many cards do you have? 2, right? MgI subscript 2. Magnesium iodide. This is what should go in your chemical formula box. Now I shouldn't see this. Do not write ion charges in chemical formulas. That's a no-no. Don't do it like that. None of your chemical formulas should have ion charges. Only subscripts. MgI2. There's number 2. Pause the video, double check to make sure that you have everything, or the video is going to end. You don't have to pause it, but make sure that you have everything in line the way you're supposed to. Get your questions asked at this point.